Hey listeners, this is a special episode of Product Journey. It's just me here today, Noah, and it's a special episode because I am doing a product hunt launch today. So I wanted to share about that really kind of why I'm making this episode, why it's a special episode, is because I need your support. I don't think I'm allowed to say that I need your upvotes. I think Product Hunt doesn't like that, but I need your support on this Product Hunt launch that I'm doing. And so that's kind of the one reason I'm making this episode, to ask for that. So, right now, pause this episode, go and check out the page on Product Hunt. Hopefully it's near the top. We will see. That's the first reason. But I also wanted to hopefully be valuable to you in this episode and kind of share maybe my past experience with Product Hunt and how that went in the past, but then also go on to share kind of my strategy with this Product Hunt launch while I'm doing it, maybe some tips, things that have worked for me in the past. So hopefully it will end up being valuable for you as well. That's the thing with these Product Hunt launches, I think, is you kind of need to the strategy is ask for help, ask for support. And typically when you do that, you will get support, but you're only going to get that support if you've been really valuable to people in different communities online, hopefully like this podcast. The more that you're giving, the more when you go to ask for something like, hey, support on Product Hunt launch, you're actually going to get that help, hopefully. So that's what I'm hoping for today. This is kind of actually almost a test to see how much have I been giving out there to everybody. So we'll see how this goes. Okay, so that's kind of the plan for this. So let's jump back to when I first launched on Product Hunt. I first launched Potion on Product Hunt almost a year and a half ago now. And it went really well. I got first of the day. I think I got around 1,200 upvotes in that first day and continued to kind of get more later. But got first of the day, ended up getting first of the week, and I think I ended up getting third of the month. So it was a pretty high, it was a launch that did pretty well. And it actually had a big effect on the Potion business as well. Up to that point, I had gotten around 75 paying customers for Potion. And that had took a couple months to get to that point. But then when I launched on Product Hunt, I got another 75 paying customers, maybe within the month following the Product Hunt launch. And so it was a really big boost. And then I think the other thing that it did really well was help me with SEO. It helped a lot of people learn about Potion for the first time, and then maybe some people write articles about it, share about it. It kind of creates this buzz that kind of creates this after effect glow that then can help the SEO, lots of backlinks and things like that. And so it's really valuable for that reason, I think. And that's kind of how that Product Hunt launch went the first time. And actually, I guess more to add on to that is I ended up getting a Product Hunt maker grant because I was one of the top launches. And I think they gave me $5,000, just, a free grant, no strings attached. And I used that to kind of help develop Potion even further, which was really cool. It was a really good launch that kind of helped Potion go on a trajectory to grow a lot faster. So I guess the question is why am I launching it again? And how can you do that? Well, you may see on Product Hunt, there are, a lot of first time products launching, and that's usually the normal thing you see. But there are products that are version 2, version 3, different parts of the product people launch again. And it kind of just gives you, if you've built enough stuff, you've made enough changes, it kind of gives you a place to launch your product again. And so for Potion, I've built a lot out on Potion since that first launch. Added a whole new dashboard, a whole new live editor, page, per page settings where you can set, SEO and styles and stuff per page, do snippet injection per page. So there's a lot of new things with Potion, even the password protected pages that wasn't around back then. And then the biggest thing is that now I have a freemium plan for Potion. So it's kind of a whole new thing. And so I feel there's just enough things that I can launch Potion again and hopefully help give me another little boost right now. Hopefully, get Potion in front of new eyes. It is pretty crazy how many people are on Product Hunt. And if you have a launch that does really well, like if you get, first of the day, you'll get a lot of page views. I'm trying to remember, I think on my first launch, I think I got around almost 2,000 uniques to my website in that first day. And then it kind of continued, but less, but there's definitely a lot of people that are finding out your product through that. So that's kind of why I'm doing it, to hopefully give a new boost to Potion. And then the other reason is I really want, I've been talking about here, I've been working on my SEO, and I kind of want to give a new boost to SEO to hopefully if a lot of people start seeing the website and it seems viable, I think Google, and at least this is what I've heard from some friends that are really good at SEO, is that Google can kind of see that as a little, like, it kind of noses that, and it's like, oh, like there's something going on with this website, like, maybe we should index that higher. So that's what I'm kind of hoping for this, to try to get some of my Potion pages higher so that they start doing better on SEO, since SEO has, it's really been a lot of my push in the last month or two. And so that's kind of why I'm doing it. So then I guess maybe some of the strategy of how I hope I can pull this off, and maybe there's some tips in here as well. So kind of going back to the first thing I said, I think the main thing that helps you have a good Product Hunt launch is kind of having a little bit of a community around you. Like, obviously having an audience helps. Like, I have almost 12,000 followers on Twitter. Like, that obviously helps. And so, I'm going to hopefully take advantage of that. And how you do that is be giving to people, be building that up where you're hopefully being valuable and helpful to people, so that when it comes around for Product Hunt launch time, I can be like, hey, can you guys support this? And hopefully everyone is wanting to be supportive because I've been supportive to them. So that's kind of the idea there. So I think that's actually one of the main strategy things. Like, I almost feel like most products that do well on Product Hunt or are number one have at least something like that going on, where the founder, there's networking, there's connections that they have that kind of helps them get to the top-ish. So that's number one tip, and that's, obviously I'm trying to do that. Number two is, I don't know how much this helps, but it seems to help, is getting a hunter. So you can get a good hunter that has a lot of followers. So who I ended up getting was Ben Lang. He's actually the community manager of Notion. And so a lot of people that follow him on Product Hunt are also Notion users and love Notion. So it's kind of a great group for me to have launch to. And so what happens when a hunter hunts a product, I think this usually happens, I don't know if they do this every time, is that Product Hunt will send an email out to the people that follow your hunter and be like, hey, your hunter, is hunting this product. And it kind of gets those people to see your product first, and hopefully some of them will go and upvote it. And so it is good to have a hunter that has a little bit of an audience and community as well, and has a decent following. The first time I launched on Product Hunt, I got Chris, I forget his last name, Mesna or something like that. He is known to be the number one Product Hunt hunter of all time. I think he has like 30,000 followers on Product Hunt, something crazy like that. So that was a big thing that helped me with the first one, I think, is getting him. And that kind of gives you a first boost of all these people kind of seeing your product from the start. And so I think Ben Lang will be good as well. At the same time, I have heard that there have been people that have won, Product of the Day with just maybe launching it by themselves, like being their own hunter and having 0 followers. So I don't know how much of that really helps, but it can't hurt. It's like you might as well kind of go the extra mile, kind of message some people, try to find someone that would be a good hunter for your product. So that's one thing I'm doing. Kind of the next thing is trying to find ways to reach out to my audience and my community. So one, doing this podcast. I'm doing this podcast to hopefully let you guys know about it so you can go and support the product. I'm going to kind of also upload this to YouTube because I have a little subscriber following on YouTube. I might even make like a little video of some sort to put on TikTok. I don't really have many people on TikTok. I've made a couple of videos in the past, but who knows? It's worth a try. So I'm probably going to do that. The other big thing that can really help is to have an email list and email out to all of your customers, ideally, like almost right after the launch starts. So the launch starts at 12 a.m. PST, so the very beginning of the day in Pacific time zone. And so I have an email set out to go out at 12:20 10:20 a.m. to all my email subscribers for Potion. So this is where it helps to maybe wait and build up an email list for your product, have customers that are already using it, that already like it. Like that, I think really goes a long way to help you have a product hunt launch that does well. And so that's why I'd always say, instead of like launch on product hunt right when you launch your product for the first time, I'd say like wait a couple months of like, launch it in another way and just get users, get feedback, get customers that really like your product, because then when you go and launch, it's going to do a lot better. So I think that's definitely a tip I'd go with there. Having an email list that you can get people to go and support it. So that's going to probably be my number one way of hopefully getting Potion to the top of the list kind of from the get-go, is emailing out to all my email subscribers, which I have around 2,800 or so for Potion. So I'm going to email out to all of them, and that will hopefully give me an early lead, which then allows anyone that's just kind of randomly going to Product Hunt that doesn't know about my product, hopefully that allows them to see the product pretty quickly that way. So that's, I think, definitely a good tip to do that. I think another good thing, if you're on Twitter, which I think there's a lot of benefits to being on Twitter, is to make like a tweet and even like a thread of kind of talking about what you're doing, that you're launching on Product Hunt. It kind of gives a way for people from Twitter, especially if that tweet does well, you just kind of say like, hey, I'm launching on Product Hunt. Those people then seeing that will then hopefully go and support you on Product Hunt as well. You can even kind of do, which I think is always kind of fun, which is what I do a lot of, is like the building in public. It's kind of almost like a meta tweet around the Product Hunt launch on Twitter, where you're kind of talking about the numbers, talking about how it's going, talking about maybe some of the things that you did to help it go well. And that's, because it's just like a helpful, valuable information for other people that are trying to learn about it. And then hopefully in the meantime, they'll then go and support you on Product Hunt. So that's another thing I do. And then kind of the last tip is basically DM all your friends, DM everyone that you've had conversations with. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in my Twitter DMs and I'm just going to go through the list, and I'm going to message each of them and be like, hey, I'm launching on Product Hunt, would really appreciate your support, and kind of leave a link to where they can find it. And so it really helps if you're, networking, helping people, going back and forth in conversations. So I probably have hundreds of DMs over the past 6 months that I've had with people. And so the nice thing about that, I don't think it's really going to work well if you just DM random people and be like, hey, support this. Like, I get those a lot, and I just never do it because I have no idea who they are. I've never seen this product. Like, why would I do that? And so I guess I wouldn't waste your time doing that. But if you can kind of create those little relationships, have a lot of DMs with different people up, previously to the Product Hunt launch, then once it comes, you can just go through your DMs and that those people have talked to you before, you've talked to them, hopefully you've been helpful to them in some way. And so then if you send that message then of like, hey, I'm launching on Product Hunt, could you help? I think then those people are more likely to do that. So I probably have around 100 DMs of just like people I've talked to previously. I'm just going to go through and ask them to support it as well that way. So I think that's another big thing you can do. Another little tip that is always nice, and I did this last time as well, is all of your links that you have, like in your bio on Twitter or even like the link to, you have your link in your bio, like switch that to the Product Hunt link, switch your bio to launching on Product Hunt today. And so kind of point everyone towards Product Hunt, even instead of your own product page for that day. So that's another big one. Also, I think Product Hunt gives you like this little button that you can put on your website that's like launching on Product Hunt or something like that. Like basically put a link on your website for that day so that anyone that goes to it is also kind of reminded again to go click there and go support the page. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. That might be everything. That might be all my tips. And so that's what I'm going to try to do. It usually ends up being kind of a late night. Like I'm launching at midnight. So I'm going to be up to kind of start DMing people, start kind of the process. So I might be up for a couple hours trying to get the ball rolling, and then I'll go to sleep. And then hopefully by the time I wake up, there's a nice amount of upvotes and people that have already come and checked out the product. So that's kind of the hope. So it's going to be kind of a long day, but it's a fun day. It's fun to do it. And so yeah. Oh, I did just remember. The other thing that I think helps is just to have kind of a personal video. So on Product Hunt you can add like little pictures and things so that people can check out your product. So I added around 5 pictures that kind of show off the new features for Potion V2. But the first thing I add is a video that it starts out just being me, like kind of just being more personal, like saying hey to Product Hunt and thanks for everyone supporting it and stuff like that. Like I think, this is what I think at least, I think that Product Hunt likes, the community of Product Hunt likes personality. Like they like it when it's personal. So instead of just having this like generic like intro video, trailer video of your product, I think you coming out and saying, hey, like, showing a face, I think Product Hunt likes that. And so that's kind of how I start out the video. And then it goes kind of into a trailer video that kind of shows off the product. So that's another little tip for you. I think that's everything. So this was a quick little podcast. And so again, thank you for your support on the Product Hunt launch for Potion V2. This is only, I guess you can still go and support it even if it's after the day, but the day today is November 15th. So that's the day I'm launching this on Product Hunt, Tuesday, November 15th. And let me know if you have any questions about any of those tips or anything. But otherwise, it's going to be fun to kind of see how this does. So thanks for listening, and I'll see you in another episode.